Hilarious. We am preparing some garnishes because I am going to make a cocktail. Okay, that's that. Do a little trim of that. So what do we want? Oh, maybe a teeny trim of this one. Just a little. Hey, Heine. You're doing some adulting. That's okay. I will be your oral wallpaper while you're doing stuff. I actually did my tax return online tonight. First time I've done that because my tax return is so simple. These days, it was more complicated when I was making some money off the Angry Aussie channel, but I'm just a paid employee, not a contractor anymore. So it's very simple. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? All right, I'm getting this ready. I'm going to set up and make a cocktail. I do want to torch this. I like it. It's got a bit of frost on it still. Torch this sucker. All right. In Russia, we have one piece of pineapple to share between everyone's pizza. And hello, Celtic. Did I say hello, Greg? I think I said hello, Greg. Yes. It's the anniversary of when hardliner communists tried to overthrow Gorbachev because they didn't want the Soviet Union to dissolve. It didn't work. And by the end of the year, 1991, the Soviet Union had dissolved. Thanks, Celtic. This is my pseudo James Bond shirt. All right, I'm going to quickly a cocktail. Actually, this is a little bit more futzing around because of the thing I want to do. So let me look at this. I'll turn this on. Got the camera. Celtic, my hair tends to change day to day. I washed it yesterday. The Spy-Away pizza. So much pizza. Nice. Honey, you're very efficient. Done your adulting already. Okay, that. And that. Let's just get that going. Now I have to and I might as well get to the point of using this one up. Clear a bit of space and gin. Oh, look at this one. Wolf Lane and Patient Wolf. We're doing wolf motifs tonight. Oh, God. That took way more effort than I was expecting. Okay. Let's get this set up. You're being efficient as the Japanese. Another overseas trip, China. Unfinished business, Japan. Good luck to you, wherever you go. People often say, if you could tell your younger self something, what would you tell them? I would definitely tell myself to travel more. So I have not really done that much in my life. It is definitely my biggest regret. So I just think that's your life experience there. And by travel, I mean overseas. Traveling within Australia is good as well. Okay. Ha! I forgot one ingredient. Okay. Why not? I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Forgot to put the mez. Okay. This is only a short, so now I've stopped futzing around. It shouldn't take me very long to finish up. Okie doke. Is that ready? That looks ready. God, I knew I was going to do that. There we go. Balthazar and Blamunda. G'day, cocktail lovers. I'm going to try a cocktail with a rather unusual name, Balthazar and Blamunda. It is named after a fairly well-known novel, I think from the 1990s. And interestingly, the writer, Saramango, I recently made a cocktail named after him, which was a huge winner, 9 out of 10. And as this is from Phil Ward at Death & Co., there's a solid chance this is going to be really good. It's an experiment. One part of my experiment, it has port in this drink. Now, I have this blend of ports that I aged in my little mini barrels I have in my bar. I'm worried I've had it too long and it's got a bit iffy, but I have a new bottle, so I've got to taste this. I was going to be fancy and put it in a glass, but yeah. Again, that's got some sediment in it. Still tastes fairly good. This is my new bottle. At the very least, I need to filter this because it's got some sediment in it. So I think I will go with this one as I put this together. I'll show you how to make it. Okay, now we pause while I actually make it. Bring this over here. Let's get all of these ready. Patient wolf. Okay, 60 mils of dry gin. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Let's see. Aperitivo. Support. It's a solid glug glug. And the puntamez. Okie dokie. Got this, got my orange peel. Let's put ice in this sucker. What's up, sucker? Do. Marvin. That tastes pretty good. I have to give it a proper taste though. Okay. Ooh, that looks really good. Nice. So here for now. Und ich tue Christopher Orange Peel. Okay. Okay, just gonna put some lids on to avoid disaster. Okay, is this one ready? It looks ready. And in a mixing glass, add 2 ounces or 60 mils of dry gin, then half an ounce or 15 mils of a bittersweet aperitivo, then half an ounce or 15 mils of port, and then half an ounce or 15 mils of puntamez. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. Then I'm straining that into a rocks glass over a big chunk of sexy clear ice and garnishing it with a twist of orange peel. The Ruby Port, or it's actually Australian Tawny, makes it look really nice in the glass, showing off the clear ice. But how does this taste? That's pretty good. The base recipe from Death & Co actually uses Campari, which I don't like because it's too bitter. I used an Australian aperitivo that's about the same bitterness as Aperol. It's got a little bit of edge because also the puntamez, that's like an aperitivo vermouth. It's halfway between vermouth and a bittersweet aperitivo. So even with this, there's a noticeable amount of bitterness. So it depends how much bitterness you like in a cocktail. I've been called a bitter old bastard more than once, so I won't hold it against you if you want to use Campari. But either way, it's a pretty good drink, and I can't even remember the name because it's weird and complicated, and I haven't even had anything to drink. But I'll drink this now. Look after yourself. Hope to see you again soon. Until I do see you again, I'll say cheers. Oh, God. There was an itch in my nose just then that was driving me crazy. Okay, got to sit down. Put this down, get this out the way. Oh, turn things off. Turn this off. Turn this off. Turn this off so we got mood lighting. All right. Ooh. Right. Actually got a blood orange. You see, it's a little bit more red than an average orange. Not super red. Justin on a roll, going to the gym. Kelsey, keep promising to break into people's homes and clean up. I mean, damn. All right, so that's that. Now, I made somewhat... Oh, wait, God, don't do that. I made somewhat of a decision today, doing things a little bit differently. Nothing more dramatic than, hey, I'm going to drink less alcohol, at least for a while. I'm sure I've mentioned this on streams before, that I had a plan to stop drinking altogether for a month. It was just getting a bit ahead in the cocktails before I did that. And I made the decision just yesterday, really, sort of bring that up a little. I was almost going to just start it now, the not drinking, but I had some stuff I wanted to, namely some clarified cocktails I want to finish. So I'm going to ease into the not drinking at all. And by and large, I'm only going to drink on the stream if I am actually making a cocktail video. I'm not going to make cocktails. I scratched myself on the forehead there. I have. A scab there. So, so for a little while, a couple of weeks maybe, I'll only be having one drink at most on a stream, apart from party night where I might have two, particularly tomorrow night. Oh, particularly because I want to finish this clarified cocktail. And also I got a barrel-aged old-fashioned there I want to taste. So I might have two drinks. I might make two videos on a party night. But other nights my plan is to mostly only have a drink if I'm making a cocktail. If I'm actually going out, that's different. Like date night, I'm still going to have cocktails with Mrs. Angry. But that basically means cutting my drinking by 75% before cutting it out altogether for a month. As you say, Charlie, breaks the pattern. Also, I really want to explore ideas because I was also thinking I can actually keep making videos because I can make 75% of the video. Yes, I know you did Dry July. I remember that. I can make 75% of the video, like all the talking and explaining and the ingredients and stuff, and just save that. And when I'm starting to drink again, actually make the drink and taste it. Yeah, Charlie, you should only drink when you want to. It is very easy to fall in the habit. Like when I had this idea in my head today, well, yesterday, and I was quite confirming it in my head today. I was thinking it is cool, but then I was really feeling there was something in my subconscious, sort of going, oh, you might be missing out. Oh, would you have as much fun if you weren't drinking? So I'm basically going to find out if I can tolerate you damn people sober. So if you were a 2-month-old fetus on the day Gorbachev was arrested. So, but all was well by the time you were actually born. Do I remember the event? Not in detail, quite honestly, and I really should. Sober October. Yeah, I'm not. The other thing is like tying it to a month is just makes it easy to remember how long you've done it. In all probability, if I tolerate you got to stop typing. Yes, no, jokes aside, it'll actually be probably easier to do the stream. It'll actually probably be easier to do long Friday night streams if I'm not drinking alcohol. That remains to be seen. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, if I haven't sort of kicked in the complete stop by October, I probably will then. Nice, Celtic. You're an opinion haver too. Everyone is an opinion haver. It's I think it's like a joke I've seen people use on social media when someone does an obnoxious comment. They go, "Look out! The opinion haver has logged on." So yes, I am not exactly shy with my opinions. So I'm definitely an opinion haver. So yeah, I like doing variations of the old joke. Opinions are like arseholes. The simplest version is opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. I like taking it further. Opinions are like arseholes. Yours stinks and I want nothing to do with it. Or I'm not interested in it. Or yours is flabby and diseased. Oh, fancy stuff. A large shell pasta with bolognese. I had, courtesy of Light and Easy, rigatoni and meatballs, which is pretty damn tasty, honestly. So if you got no water for 3 hours, all right, cleaning. Oh well, just bottle some water and put it in the fridge. So okay, that's stretching the metaphor a bit, Charlie. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone sticks their finger up each other's. But yes, opinions in and of themselves are of no value. We all have opinions, and they're of different level of meaning to different people. But like, there's one of the more annoying things. People say, "I'm entitled to my opinion," and going, you're entitled to carry a bunch of pebbles around in your hand too. That's also worthless. So if we had water off because the pipe was leaking just after the bloody water meter, the water company said, "Hey, we think you've got a leak. That'll cost you thousands of dollars if you don't fix it." So it got fixed. Probably cost us a couple $100 to get it fixed. Celtic, the world is full of people with stinky assholes and stinky opinions that I want nothing to do with. Yes. It's extremely funny to me that people think their opinion has intrinsic value. Like, opinions have no intrinsic value. Yes, you're entitled to your opinion, and you're entitled to be wrong. But to act as if there's some weight behind an opinion that has no supporting evidence is very strange. There've always been people like that. It just seems like modern internet and social media vastly amplified people's ability to broadcast it to the world. It didn't make their opinions any better, possibly didn't even make them worse. But one thing I like to say, the best thing about the internet is also the worst thing about the internet. Like, growing up as a bit of a weirdo in a country town, I felt very alone and isolated. Whereas if the internet had existed, I could have found other weirdos and felt less alone and isolated. So I feel like that's the best thing about the internet, is you're never alone. I think it's also the worst thing about the internet. You can believe, what they call it, Fields of the Nephilim, some weird pseudo-Nazi fantasy about a secret valley with giants. You can believe the stupidest thing, be a flat earther, an anti-vaxxer, a race supremacist, or whatever, and you will definitely find people who echo and amplify your view. You will never be alone, which is definitely the worst thing about the internet. Charlie, Mark was telling the piss story, yes, which was an awesome story. You're working at Kmart. Old fella asked to get down the bottom shelf, get some place for me, farted in your face. Do you reckon that was on purpose, or it's just one of those unfortunate things of being an old fella, that you can't quite control bodily functions? I can't do breathalyzer now, Safa, because I'm freshly got alcohol on my breath, and we worked out the other night that, and it really throws it out. I'm saying we worked it out the other night. That's always, but we didn't work it out. Charlie reminded me you're meant to leave a gap. Fart in the face is bad. 80-year-old doing it in your face gives you memories you can never forget. Damn. Well, I haven't finished the cocktail yet, so. It's all good in the hood. What have we been watching this week? The Agency, CIA spy thingy with Michael Fassbender. It's pretty good. Little twists and turns. It's got some good twists and turns, but they're not absolutely ridiculous and fantastical. Like, when the twist happens again, yep, I can see they were setting that up. And yes, I've been watching Westies, which is interesting, set in the 80s New York, smaller Irish gangs in conflict with much, much larger Italian gangs in New York. J.K. Simmons is the lead in it. He's always good. Yeah, it's entertaining. And it's interesting because the Italian mob, John Gotti's a lieutenant who's not happy with his boss, who he feels keeps him in check. And if anyone knows their mob history in New York, John Gotti does not stay a lieutenant. John Gotti ends up killing his way to the top. I don't think it rained today, Safa. It rained a bit yesterday. And yes, I am looking forward to Mobland season 2. New Slow Horses coming out next month as well. A little bit of water to wrench the alcohol out of my mouth. Boardwalk Empire was set in Prohibition era in New York. So that was Steve Buscemi was the lead in Boardwalk Empire, which I never watched. It's apparently a pretty good show, so I might watch it at some point. Celtic, you've broken into my house while I slept, got in the bed, don't spoon me. Well, safely assume you'd be murdered, Celtic. Don't take kindly to intruders in the angry house. So, fairly warned be ye. Like this little bottle, which I'm reusing, you probably see there's like embossing on the glass. There's like an owl, and there's an eye here with teardrops. This was a mini bottle of Mr. Black coffee liqueur, and I just loved it, the etchings on it, so I kept it. I'm amazed I haven't seen stuff online about Mr. Black being devil worshippers, because they have all sorts of arcane iconography on their labels. I'm yet to see someone complaining that it's the devil's work. Oh, that's right. Michael Shannon was one of the main supporting characters. That's right. Yeah, see, I never watched it, so I'm just aware of what it was when it was set. Michael Shannon's pretty bloody good, though. I've seen him be a good guy. I've seen him being a bad guy. So you did the first 2 seasons show. If you clean the house, Celtic, we've got a robot that cleans the house, so I'm still not real keen on someone breaking in. 2 seasons was enough? How long did it run? 5 seasons or something? It ran for a while. All right, just for yourself, where's my breathalyzer? On. Oh, 16th time we've used it. It's counting down. There you go, 5 seasons. Good guess. Not so much guess as memory, I suppose. Yes, I'll send you to visit Aidsy in the next life, Celtic. Oh, no, I did it wrong. Why did I do it wrong? I thought I did it right. Okay. Oh, yes, you're saying you watched Streetcar Named Desire. Gotta step up the old school movie. I watched Streetcar Named Desire like in the 80s, I think. I haven't fucked up the breathing on this for a while. Gotta get my breathing right. Counting. I think there's something here that warms up. Okay. Am I doing it too fucking soft now? Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with me? Mark and Abigail have both watched Body Dharma. I'm probably going to watch it on Saturday. I'm failing miserably on the blowing. I think I've been doing it too softly. All right. Okay, I think I got it. Yes, no, I think it's like Zen meditation. the pacing is really going to be a thing. I love the little thinking animation. 0.02, that seems right. I'm most keen to see if the monk has brainless disciples, because I'm just thinking of that song from The Bedridden, Why Did Bodhidharma Go to China? Keeps thinking, but he has only ever had brainless disciples. And there's another line about one does not discuss a dream with an idiot. So I'm waiting to see if the disciples are idiots. Man, okay. Just friggin'. You know what? I think when I get through this, I'm going to make one more clarified cocktail. So I'm going to be lying a bit. I'm going to have 2 drinks on live streams until I do that. But that's just because I've been making it with evaporated milk. And 1 can of evaporated milk I make 2 clarified cocktails with. And I've only used half the can. So I want to use the other half. I know, I put that song in your head. Why did Bodhidharma go to China? Those guys were from Adelaide, I think. And they used to occasionally come to Sydney, and they were playing gigs at this cafe near where I lived in Chippendale. So I saw them in this very intimate setting where they were fully acoustic. And I saw them in like a bigger pub where they were semi-acoustic. But yeah, they're pretty funny because they had some sort of melodic, folky pop ones like Why Did Bodhidharma Come to China? They covered some Sesame Street songs. They did Capital I and the Sesame Street parody of Bruce Springsteen, Born to Add, instead of Born to Run. And then they had a couple of really short, sharp ones. I mean, like 30-second songs that the guy would be thrashing along on an acoustic guitar. There's one that was just called Truck. The only lyrics was, I drive my truck, I fuck my wife, I live a long and fruitful life. And then they're screaming. And then it's, I drive my truck. I drive my wife, I fuck my truck. He would always break strings on the guitar. He'd be thrashing away an acoustic guitar and would end up breaking strings and have to restring. I think it's rain. Did you guess that? I think it's raining now. I think it's raining quite a bit now. I mean, you're like, oh yeah, the Sesame Street did some Beatles songs, but and they also straight up did Yellow Submarine. Like they didn't even change the lyrics; they just did Yellow Submarine. Yep, it is raining a lot out there at the moment. What's the radar look like? Oh shit! Yeah, look. Fuck. Yeah, look. Where are we? Big thing of rain going over. That's right on top of me now. Oh, so if you mean lucky I'm not going to actual cocktail bars? Yeah, I don't like to get rain. You're the rain whisperer. I know it sounds fairly heavy, Safa. So I grew up where most, at least half houses, had galvanized iron roof or aluminium roofs. So rain was really loud. Now everyone has tiled roofs, so the rain isn't as loud. But yeah, I remember because God, there was so much drought when I was growing up in Dubbo. I remember once, and it hadn't rained for a while, and we were in the backyard, and I could see out west incredibly black clouds, like just phenomenally, like it had been clear skies, and these clouds coming from the west were black. It was blotting out the sky, and I realized they were moving pretty fast. And then when it reached town, as it's coming towards us, it's just a deluge, so much rain, and it's hitting the roof, and it's like advancing drums coming towards us. Like we're in the backyard watching it, and it was moving really fast, and it's like just really staccato drums getting closer and closer, just and it's like go inside. I sound like I'm talking about a Midnight Oil song. I like that. So you got a patio outside your window, you put that AHT into turbo mode, hit it like a fucking master. Nice. Oh. Man, those clarified cocktails are really good though. Sydney dust storm. Oh, that I think that only reached the suburbs. We had a dust storm in Dubbo when I was a young'un, and it just reduced visibility to fucking zero. It was so dark. What was interesting was when you're in it, it just looked grey and dark. And I remember I took some photos, and when the photos were developed, everything was really red orange because Dubbo is famous for the red dirt around it. In fact, there are two theories as to where the name of the town comes from. No one's actually sure. One was that it was a local indigenous word for the red earth. The other one is that it's a reference to a ceremonial head covering, but white fellas being white fellas, they never bothered to actually really understand it. Charlie, you're into the Bicky, and you finished the Biscoff whiskey. Oh well. Well, what's interesting is the Bicky is. I've only seen it the once, honestly. It's a Ned's product, and it was on clearance, which is why I got it. Yeah, who knows, Safa? Why isn't it Dubbo Dubbo like Wagga Wagga? What? There's a few places: Curry Curry, Grong Grong, Wagga Wagga. What other double name places are there? There's a few, and I don't know. It'd take a historian or a linguist to explain why there's some and not others. You showed the Biscoff whiskey to Bladen before you knew it was gone. Is Walla Walla a real place, Safa? Saying that's near Wagga Wagga? Okay. I'm going to believe you. And, still working my way through Mandalorian drinks. I've got at least 2 more of those 4-packs, and I've got 1 big bottle. Okay, now I'm believing you, Safa. There's a place called Walla Walla. It's probably some more. There are so many tiny towns in Australia, and as I've done many times on the stream, because I find it just really amusing to look at funny name places. Oh no, I didn't get the intro to Third Disc. I missed the first minute. Okay, I'll play it here. Where is it? Let me get on the YouTubes. Okay. What do we got here? Right, I've got to look at my subscriptions. Where are we? Okay, let me... Fuck off! Jesus Christ, this fucking... I don't know, YouTube's not been responding to things. Anyway, I'm going to share. This is the intro to the Laserdisc video for the night. Let me share screen. Because I missed this. I came in about the 2-minute point. Because I was getting my dinner ready. All right, let's have a look at this.
Please rise for our national anthem.
It's a whole thing. And I've got a mixture of...
Those guys were just trying to impress the ladies. I'll do the first discs as well. Okay, sorry. Let me. I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back. Let's get it going on. All right, just the first one.
Ones that we know and some that we don't. But yeah, I think there's some good ones to talk about in here. So yeah, feel free to have at it. I've also got some notes for the ones that we don't know.
Okay, good.
Yeah, okay, kicking off, Mad Max on Water.
Yeah, Mad Max on Water.
I've seen people try to defend this film, but honestly,
well, the worst and the best villain I've ever.
Mad Max on Water.
This is reminding me of last time when you were telling about some of your drug delusions.
Mad Max on Water. It's an interesting train wreck. I think it's probably saved by Dennis Hopper as the bad guy.
Which right at the moment is the most expensive movie ever made.
All right, next up we've got
That was literally where I came in. That liberal shithead thing. Okay, so I saw the bit I didn't see. Dennis Hopper with a shaved head. Man, he has some interesting movies over the years, quite honestly. Celtic is a lover of sexy shirts. Right. Well, again, I usually just, because I've got like 40 of these shirts. And they're just random rotation. I just get the next one off the rack and rotate them through. But I know what tomorrow's is. It's the really bright orange one. It's a good party night shirt. It's a very party-ish shirt, that one. I think my first exposure to Dennis Hopper was Blue Velvet. And that's one of his really over-the-top, just woof, wildly out of control ones. Charlie, you buying new shirts every fortnight? I haven't bought new ones for a while. I don't even remember if I've bought any this year. I don't keep track of it. Okay, I'm finished with alcohol, but I'm going to see if that clarified cocktail, if at this stage I'm higher or lower, as it were. You know what I'm planning to do this weekend? Go to the outlet store to see if they've got winter jackets on sale. Get a new jacket for next winter. Okay, I'm getting the breathing right after getting it wrong a couple of times. Is that a fact, Safa? Australians buy more fashion per capita? That's still 0.02. Yeah, that feels accurate. I do not feel drunk. I can feel a little. 0.02 is like a buzz. I can feel a little buzz. You know what? The other thing I'm going to do was talking about drinking less and stopping altogether for a while. Stopping buying stuff, because I find it so hard to not buy stuff. Because last time I was in Dan's, 2 good quality whiskeys for 50 to 55 bucks, and they're normally 90 to 100 bucks. And the temptation to go back and get another bottle of it, just because I'll drink it eventually. And that is such a good price for a good quality whiskey. I just got to calm the fuck down, honestly. I'm hoping I don't have drinking withdrawal, Safa. It'd be more psychological than physical, because multiple days a week I don't drink alcohol. You see, where they get me, Charlie, is the clearance stuff. I just go and see what's on special, and oof. Just like I said, the temptation to go back. Well, have I got another? Sorry, I just realized I've got another couple of the Mandalorian bottles over there. Okay. Getting ahead of myself. Yeah, but seeing stuff that I know goes for, when I see stuff and I know it's somewhere between a third and half off, it's like, oh, that is so difficult to resist. I tell you, you're trying to build up the bar. Yeah. You know what? I do want to experiment with how I make things, because were you just saying about filling the bar? I was thinking today about a video I made years ago about how do you start a home bar, and I think it was actually kind of shit advice, and I maybe want to do that again. You see the drinks and the vids, I need that. Yeah, man. Once I found out, basically all the bottle shops will randomly put stuff on clearance, and it's so fucking cheap. It's so hard to resist. But it's just absurd what I have, honestly. I've said it so many times, but I legit think if I stopped buying today, and if I kept drinking like at my normal rate of drinking, not the reduced amount I'm talking about, I think it would take me 5 years to get through everything I've got, which is fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. No defense for it. Guilty got to raid the collection. It's a nagging fear. Like the possibility of it happening is tiny, because I'm not in a rich looking house and I don't have an expensive car in the driveway. But when the media gets to me, I try not to be affected by sensationalizing, but the way the conservative media have been sensationalizing the home invasions in Melbourne, it's hard not to be at least a little bit worried about it, because it does happen. And I'm particularly worried because I know if some little fucker broke into my house and saw my alcohol collection, they'd want to take it all, and they probably couldn't the first time. So they would just fucking come back. So I will actually admit that is a it's not at the front of my mind, but it's like, oh god, that would fucking suck if that happened. Keep the doors locked. Yes, some of these little fuckwits whose brains aren't developed, so they have no consequential thinking, they just break through windows. Charlie, that is a much more realistic risk. The damage I may be doing to myself with alcohol is a much more realistic risk than a home invasion. I don't pretend it's not a thing. I know what people do when they're like in denial and they want to pretend like, oh no, it's not like, dude, no, alcohol is a poison. That's a simple fact. And you never know which drink is going to be the one that causes a cancer, that causes liver disease, heart disease, fucking brain aneurysm and stroke. Yeah. Yeah, it's bizarre to me. No, it's not bizarre. I understand people with fear and wanting someone punished if they feel violated. But the whole idea that juveniles should be in adult prison for doing adult crimes and whatnot, that does absolutely nothing to reduce crime. And in fact, the way our prison systems work, recidivism is a serious thing, and you imprison someone when they're young, and they're actually more likely to become a lifelong criminal. Diversionary programs work better. But I do understand why people think, oh, you've got to punish them. Anyway, so your dad had to stop, loves a gin and tonic, or settling down the other day. See, I've never really done that. I've never been the guy who goes, oh, I need a drink at the end of the day. I got into the habit of having drinkies on the stream. And if I go out, I'll have drinkies. And it is sometimes, but quite rare, but sometimes just sitting with Mrs. Angry, go, oh, why not mix up a drink? But I've never been the person who goes, end of a long day, I've got to have an alcoholic beverage. That's never been my motivation to have a drink. It's like I have a drink because I like to have a drink. Republicans are calling for public excuse. It's just like there is a very long established body of evidence that capital punishment does not deter crime. It's just about people wanting a sense of vengeance. And oh God, the American prison system is a fucking disease. It's just, I know you're agreeing with me, Charlie. Sorry. I don't do it. Yeah, it's people wanting harsh punishment. It's going, well, that doesn't stop crimes from happening. And in fact, we just have overwhelming evidence that it locks people into a pattern of criminality. But people can be very vengeful. So, yeah, rationality. People, and I'm counting myself in this, I'm not going, all those people. Humans generally are way less rational than they like to think they are. We get triggered by rather primitive emotions. Funny social media post I saw years ago, someone saying like, it's like, a guy said to me, I think people, like with bad opinions, would change their opinion if they were just given the right information and the right evidence. And this person said to them, well, here's a succession of studies that show that isn't the case. When it's tied up in their identity, no amount of evidence gets them to change their mind. And the guy went, oh yeah, well, I still reckon it's true, which was a funny and ironic thing that guy did not get. He was disproving his own point and proving the other person's point. by being shown evidence that his position was wrong, and then just going, oh, I still think it's right. Simpsons starting a conspiracy group. Yeah. The best bit about, you're talking about the kids' conspiracy group, when they were all saying ridiculous shit, and Lisa goes, ooh, what if they're reverse vampires? Habeas tortoise. Homer starts an online conspiracy group after public humiliation makes him doubt his intelligence. Becomes obsessed with finding a missing 150-year-old tortoise from the Springfield Zoo. Recruiting townsfolk like Superintendent Charmant, Chief Wiggers, and frantic searches. But there was one, there was another one where the kids were doing conspiracies. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was Grandpa Simpson's Love Tonic, which actually worked. So all the adults were just going off having sex and ignoring the kids. And the kids were wondering where the adults were and started having conspiracies about it. And Lisa said, because she was really annoyed with how they were doing all these conspiracies. And she goes, ooh, maybe they're reverse vampires. And then a little bit later, Milhouse is doing the red thread thing, connecting all the different conspiracies, the Masons and the Rothschilds, and then he goes, and the reverse vampires, and he smiles at Lisa like she'll be glad that he's included her reverse vampires. And she's just like, how the fuck do you not know that I was saying you were stupid? Simpsons did it, is what I'm saying. But what else have I been watching? I tried another of those obscure adult animations you put on Plex, Charlie. It's a British one. I've even forgotten what it's called. But I read the synopsis and it's like, ooh, this one's really edgy and deals with dark topics. I didn't mind it, but it didn't really grab me, so I don't know if I'm going to watch any more of it. As opposed to that Super Jail one, where, oh God, that was fucking shit. I'm definitely not watching any more of that. But I might also get back to watching one of the classic Adult Swim ones, because you put a whole bunch of them on the Sea Lab 2021, Space Ghost, Frisky Dingo. Not sure if you put the Brack Show on, but I friggin' love all those shows. Monkey Dust. Yep, that was it. It was okay. It was interesting. All right, yeah, maybe. Okay, no, I should watch Nirvana the show. That's something I should start watching in my lunch hours or whatever. All right, I'll start watching Nirvana the show. I guess I'll finish. I didn't realize House of the Dragon was over. I could see, like, people saying it was a finale. Go, oh, was that a finale? I guess a few things happened and it all went tits up. And so who the fuck knows what's going to happen from now on. But yeah, I'll finish watching The Westies. Then I'll give Nirvana the band the show a go, because I like the movie, Nirvana the band, the show, the movie. So I'll definitely give it a go. Probably start watching it next week. We shall see. I have to decide what movies or anything I'm going to watch this weekend. Obviously got to do movie of the week. Why Has Bodied Armor Come to the East, or however it's phrased. I think I decide do I want to watch a newer one? If so, what? I mean, two that I've kind of been thinking of is The Death of Robin Hood and Toy Story 5. Also, maybe should I watch a classic again? I noticed you posted all the Sidney Poitier movies, and there was a sequel to In the Heat of the Night, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs, which is a line he actually says in the Heat of the Night. Yes, Death of Robin Hood did bomb at the box office. That is not necessarily a sign it's a bad movie. But yeah, I may or may not watch it. I don't know. And I also, there's a third one. Like, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs was obviously Heat of the Night spin-off. But then I was looking at the descriptions of the Sidney Poitier movies, and there was a third Virgil Tibbs movie. I forgot what it's called, but it's the third Virgil Tibbs movie. Yes, Celtic, I am restreaming to Facebook and Twitch as well as YouTube. Doing Ridley Scott and William Friedkin movies and Sidney Lumet. Okay. I think there's probably a few more Kubricks I should watch. What was that one you're recommending? Paths to Glory? Kirk Douglas? I should maybe watch that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a few more European classics. Keep watching Criterion Closet videos because it's kind of keen. They recommend something that I haven't really heard of, so go off and watch it. Yeah, I remember you saying Paths of Glory really surprised you. Okay, I liked The Killing, but you really loved Paths of Glory. You got to watch it, yeah. Yeah, Danny McBride did some good selections, actually. Also, he's one of the ones who just kept going, like, not all of them, but a lot of people go, like, I'm going to do a blind pick. Oh, Danny McBride did 3 blind picks. I've never seen anyone do 3 blind picks. He's going, yeah, I'm going to get that one. I'm going to get that one. I'm going to get that one. I love it when the celebs in the Criterion Closet just take a shit ton of movies. Like, who took Natasha Lyonne? Just kept going. Because the one thing when I watch Criterion Closet video on YouTube, I make a point of not paying any attention to how long the video is. So then I never know when they're going to stop. Because sometimes people just keep going. Sometimes they only take about 4 movies, and sometimes they take 10. And they just keep going. Yeah, Eastbound and Down. I've watched a couple of episodes of Eastbound and Down, and I never really got into it. I think that's an acquired taste thing. Like, maybe if I gave it a bit more time, I might be into it. Because, like, I was super surprised how much I got into Letterkenny and the spin-off Shoresy. I friggin' love both those shows. They're both really stylized and non-naturalistic, with repeated jokes and repeated ways of talking, and I just really enjoy them. That's right. He actually called out in his Criterion Closet video that his character in Eastbound and Down had his Criterion. Actually had Criterion discs, which is fun. Damn. All right. I'm going to have another non-alcoholic beverage. Got to keep my throat lubricated while I'm talking. See how this goes. Oh, The Righteous Gemstones. I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons of The Righteous Gemstones and really liked it. And it was just, I got distracted. I didn't stop watching it because I didn't like it. I just kind of got distracted and was watching other things. There was what's his name from fucking Roseanne? John Goodman. as the patriarch of the televangelist family. He called them criterions, not criterions. Criterions. So there you go. I have not watched that thing. All right, so I was actually you watched it because I talked up the Righteous Gemstones. Yeah, I did like it. It was quite funny, and it's one of those things. I just got distracted. And there's about 5 seasons of that, isn't there? I think there's at least 4. It's also just got people I like in it. Walton Goggins with bleach white. I think it's a wig he's wearing. Bleach white hair as a not as successful televangelist. But yeah, I'm a bit of a Walton Goggins fan. When I see him in something, I'll usually watch it. And that comes from watching Justified, the Timothy Oliphant series, where Walton Goggins is his childhood friend and adult nemesis. That was such a fucking good show. And he was also in the last season of White Lotus. Oh, that Charlie, you think my taste in comedy is like 90% good suggestions for TV shows? Oh, I really like the Venture Brothers. And I'm so glad you had all the episodes I hadn't seen. So I like rewatched the whole length of it. Just the references. It's such a Gen X show. The Venture Brothers, like it started, Christ, in the 90s, I think. Either the 90s or the early 2000s. But there would be like years gap between seasons. But there were all these references to the 60s and 70s Saturday morning cartoons. Because Rusty had been a boy adventurer. And there's just references to Johnny Quest and Scooby-Doo and God, who else did they work in? It's just a lot, basically. And they were very entertaining. Quite the fan of it. Actually, along those lines, like you got the Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law, which I always enjoyed. I found out recently they did another Harvey Bird. It's either a movie or a series called Harvey Birdman Attorney General. I don't know if you can find that, Charlie, because I only recently found out that existed. They did it, I don't know, like a decade after the last Harvey Birdman. Yeah, that's when I first saw them, Safa. SBS on Friday or Saturday nights. They would put weird Adult Swim stuff on in the 90s and 2000s. Because Birdman was originally a serious Saturday morning cartoon. Birdman. So, yeah, I do remember the late nights on SBS for really trippy, including Eon Flux. I've got Happy Tree Friends on DVD, actually. I mentioned that before. You looked for it, didn't find it, but you were a little bit pissed. I don't think I made a formal request for it. Are you doing Sandler? What Sandlers we are watching tonight? There's a big oeuvre there. Happy Tree Friends was kind of a one-note joke. Watching burst. My favorite one was Flippy, the Vietnam veteran who'd flip out and kill everyone. Erotic Tales sounds vaguely familiar, Safa. But I can't remember any details. So, I don't even remember, was that like a live action or was that an animation? I don't remember at all. It sounds vaguely familiar though. But that was always the thing, watch SBS for the titties. Ooh, watch the Euros stuff with the naughty action. SBS airing it in the name of art. And it's like, ooh yeah, naked people. Sexy stuff on SBS. The sexy broadcasting service. If you know what I mean. Are you watching 50 First Dates? That's such a weird movie. I didn't dislike it, but it certainly raises a bunch of questions. But that's with Drew Barrymore, isn't it? Like they did at least 2 movies together. So when you were a teenager, your parents didn't understand South Park. Too old, right? His 2000 movies in the post-Me Too era. Well, the main... okay, spoiler alert for a 20-year-old film, 50 First Dates. Drew Barrymore's character can't remember anything past a day. When she goes to sleep, she doesn't remember anything that happened the previous day. So that's why he has 50 First Dates, because he keeps meeting her for the first time. But at the end of the movie, they've got kids, and it's just like, what the fuck? So that means you got to the point where you were, and not that there's anything wrong by definition with fucking on a first date, but they clearly did multiple times. And also, what sort of psychological trauma is it to wake up being pregnant, not remembering you were pregnant? That's actually more fucked up than fucking on a first date, because fucking on a first date is normal and fine and whatever, if it's consensual. But the psychological torture of waking up pregnant and not knowing that you're pregnant when you wake up, she'd be fucking in a mental hospital, honestly. And because that's not just once, you think like for what, 5 months you're noticeably pregnant. It's just like, nah. That's one of those things where it's like, don't think about the concept too hard. If you just roll with it, it's fine. Yeah, I'm overanalyzing it in a way that's not helpful. So Hayden Christensen wants to do Vader films. I'm sure he does, because it's not like he's got anything else going on in his career. I'm being cynical there. I do remember they did some Vader comics, which was really just Star Wars told from Vader's perspective. And honestly, they were really good, particularly The Empire Strikes Back, when he has the confrontation with Luke. And he's actually realizing the Emperor's going to fuck him. The Emperor thinks Luke is more valuable than Vader. And there was just this one bit in the comic I really liked, when Vader's on the Death Star and he's looking out at some portal, and it's just like the little things of his thought patterns where he knows the Emperor's going to fuck him. And if Luke won't cross over, he'll kill him. And he's just realizing the Emperor fucking sucks. And just while he's thinking about it, just the glass thing he's looking through starts to crack, and it's just from his force things going out. I'm probably explaining it really badly, but it was just transmitting Vader's anger. It was really quite good. And they also there was a spin-off, and this was just in comics. It would probably make a good movie. A female character who was like shaping up to be a protege of Vader's. I never read these comics, but they were really well received. There's obviously lots of scope in there, but who knows? What do we? The next Star Wars movie is the one with Ryan Gosling. Yes, Starfighter. We'll see what that's like next year, I think. See what that's like. But yeah, I don't know if they can turn things around in Star Wars. I mean, you know, yeah, they had Andor. What is it? You got a call yesterday? Old fella went to the record store. Record store gave him a number. Vietnam War vet. So they just knew you. And when he said he wanted some stuff, they knew to refer it. That's nice that you've got the reputation that people get referred to you. You've got a few Laserdiscs. Was that the guy who unplugged your modem? Wanted to buy a player, a Laserdisc player. Yes, so the Plex went offline when I was watching the Westies, which is fine. I just went to Prime and watched Reacher. I love that show because it's both intentionally funny and unintentionally funny. Like they throw a lot of jokes in, but it's kind of like when Reacher is so sincere. I find that unintentionally funny. And just the running joke of just how fucking big he is. And in the previous season, they somehow managed to find someone who was much bigger than him. And it's like, God damn, they've found someone bigger than Reacher. That's pretty freaking wild. In this one, they have these guys who are just really fast, sort of pseudo martial arts fighters. And they do manage to make it look convincingly like Reacher is not an unstoppable force against these guys. Because if they keep doing things where he's just like, you know, an unstoppable force, there's no tension at all. All right, so yeah, so this guy bought the discs and player, was the fella who unplugged your modem. So you've got an old CRT portable TV, and you were done showing the player. He unplugged all three plugs. Say la vie. Had to count 2 minutes before plugging in. Yeah, that's okay. Like I said, I just I went and watched an episode of Reacher, which I find quite entertaining. Wow, he bought another $100 worth of discs. Nice. Well, that was a good bloody reference for you. Hat tip to the record shop who sent him in your direction. Nicely, nicely. It's all good. Kind of fun that he wanted to get the old technology, Laserdisc players and Laserdiscs. Going to have Vietnam Vets movie night. Nice. They're reliving some of their old favorites. Oh, you actually picked movies for him. Okay, now I got to know what you picked for him for his Vietnam Vets movie night. Oh, The Train and the Hill. God, they'll fucking like those. God damn, they'll like those. Two of our previous movies of the week that were both really good. Okay, Time Cop is very much a change of pace. Okay, Bridge Too Far, another classic war film. Terminator 2, just an absolute classic. So some war and some and just classic war films. Oh God, you're chucking in a bit of Van Damme there. Maximum Risk and Time Cop. Kelsey, nice to see you, man. Take care. See you another time. And Forrest Gump. All right. So some 90s classics and some 50s and 60s classics. Or is a bridge too far 70s? That's Richard Attenborough, isn't it? As in the director? I feel like that's a Richard Attenborough directed movie because I've just read stories about the production. That's a pretty good selection. There was even more than that. Well, that's a pretty goddamn good selection, honestly. There's a story about Bridge Too Far in William Goldman's book, Adventures in the Screen Trade. William Goldman, legendary Hollywood screenwriter, wrote some very good books, good references for people who want to write for the screen. Old bloke's stoked with your movie selections. That sounds like a good selection. Safa, I think Richard Attenborough is related to David Attenborough. Now, here's a bit of trivia. You know how they do the monarch's birthday honors, give out knighthoods and MBEs and OBEs. There was a rumor Richard Attenborough, who did have a very good career in front of and behind the camera as a major contributor to British cinema, he got honors before David Attenborough did. And there was rumors that that was a clerical mistake and it was supposed to be David Attenborough who got the honors, but it went to Richard Attenborough, and David Attenborough got it the next year. Don't know if that's true, but yeah, I think they are brothers, Charlie, but I'm not sure. Richard's 3 years older. Okay. Speaking of our movies of the week, he was in that John Wayne as an American cop in London movie, Brannigan. So, yeah, I don't know if that story about the mistake with the Queen's birthday honors is true, but I remember it at the time. But Richard Attenborough deserved it. He was a huge part of British cinema for many decades. I beat you to naming Brannigan. Yeah, in William Goldman's book Adventure in the Screen Trades, he has several interesting stories about a Bridge Too Far in the making. Not least how difficult it was, because it's a real event it was based on, and there was some stuff from the real event that was not seen as all that plausible to, I think you're on a 10-second delay. That can happen. What do? You refresh the browser. All right, you're back now. Yeah, there were a couple of elements of the story that would not necessarily work in a film, so they changed them. But one bit I remember and love was it was an incredibly complex shoot, and Goldman was really impressed with everything that Richard Attenborough could keep in his head. He was managing the logistics of the shoot, and there was one really big set piece they were doing one day, and he's like, and so we want this troop, we want these troops, we want these trucks, we want this, that, and that, and then this is going to happen, and we've got everyone ready to go, and he's just ready to go. And then someone said, "What about the tanks?" And he said, Attenborough just froze. And he's going, what have I forgotten? What have I forgotten? And he's got the little, actually speaking about spinning circle thing, he's like, that's what Attenborough had, is like a spinning circle. And he's just going. And then he realized the person was thinking of a different shot and there were no tanks in this shot. And he just goes, it's okay. We don't need tanks today. But he was just marveling at the level of detail Attenborough was keeping in his head. Yeah, movies, they can be complicated. You know what's happening? We're talking about maybe it's you're getting the spinning wheel, whatever. Semi-regularly, StreamYard used to, from my perspective, it's like up here. There was a little thing going. You're not. You've got shit bandwidth. Basically, in fact, actually, sorry, I want to check something here. Yeah, okay, it's mirroring, and I don't want it to. Okay, I'm going for great risk at the moment. I don't know when it switched to mirroring. General. Show resolution, display information, shift videos. Audio avatars, automatically add presented media to stage. Camera. There. No, don't mirror my camera. There we go. So that should not have done anything. Okay. You said no problems. And as soon as you'd enter, it froze. And that might have been my fault because I was going into some settings. Was David Attenborough autistic? Well, either of them, Richard or David, who knows? But yeah, some people can just remember things. It doesn't necessarily put you on the spectrum, but for some people, that's their autistic superpower. Being able to remember incredible detail. The freakiest one I've ever heard, and I've heard multiple variations of this, people would talk about memory palaces. They could construct in their mind like a castle, a palace with 10 rooms, and each room had 10 unique items in the room, and they could memorize it, and they could metaphorically walk from room to room, and they could just tell you, if I step out of this room, go down the hall and around the room with the red door and go in, and they'll tell you the 10 items that are in there, and they could flawlessly remember all of this, which is not usual, put it that way. And then you get some people, and these are usually people, or at least the ones I've seen on TV, who are a bit more noticeably on the spectrum, but they remember the weather every day of their life. Like, you just say to them, what was the weather April 14th, 1982? And they just go, this. And then the people were going into the weather records and checking, and it's like, they were always right. Safa, there is a preferred term, like you also used to always talk about photographic memory, and there was a thing like that's not a very accurate way to describe it. I know there's another term for it now. I love that, Charlie. You've got 9,000 movies, and if someone mentions one, you know whether you've got it or not. Awesome. We all have our things, I think. Like, you get some musicians who can play hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of music. That's the term that's preferred now, Charlie. Thank you. Eidetic memory. But yeah, you get musicians who have memorized hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of music, and they can play them without sheet music in front of them. They've just committed them to memory. Humans are a weird and varied bunch, and they have different skills. There you go. You learned something tonight, Safa. In scientific circles, they don't like the term photographic memory. They prefer the term eidetic memory. And I'm not actually, I don't even know the root of that word. Hey, you know what? We're on the internet. Let's look it up and see what comes up. If there's, okay, eidetic meaning. Relating to or denoting mental images having unusual vividness and detail as if actually visible. Okay, what's the Wikipedia entry for eidetic memory? Photographic memory or total recall without using a mnemonic device. Okay, there's a different. Eidetic memory refers to the ability to see an object for a few minutes after it's no longer present. Photographic memory refers to the ability to recall pages of text or numbers in great detail. When the concepts are distinguished, eidetic memory is reported to occur in a small number of children and is generally not found in adults. While true photographic memory has never been demonstrated to exist. This is what I wanted, the root of it. Eidetic comes from the Greek word eidos, meaning visible form. There you go. Eidetic memory is not limited to visual aspects, includes auditory memories and various sensory aspects. So yes, that's another thing I've read before, that people think there's no such thing as photographic memory. It's just something from popular culture that's not actually real. Hey, Raisin Kirsty, how you all doing? Charlie, you learned eidetic memory from, I don't know about what year the name has changed. Like as I said, they're two distinct things, and photographic memory is probably not real. It's a fictional creation. It's like there's no such thing as a truth serum. But there are various drugs that can lower your inhibitions, and a skilled questioner can use drugs in combination with a particular way of questioning that makes it more likely for people to say something they didn't want to say. Kirsty, you're getting tired. Have you not been getting good sleep? We all get tired from time to time. I've said that out loud. Now I'm probably going to yawn, just psychologically talking about being tired. And it's like, now I want to yawn. Dang it. But we'll see how we go. No, really? Not getting good sleep? That sucks. My sleep's been pretty good. And I have less of the fatigue that I was having a couple of years ago, two years ago. Well, everyone's coming in late. Rain's here too. Happy Estonians re-independence day. Oh, I think I saw that when I was looking up what happened on this day. Is it the anniversary of Estonia declaring independence from the Soviet Union? And yes, Safa, now that you mention it, the rain stopped ages ago. I wasn't really conscious of when it stopped, but it did. Yeah, so there were two anniversaries. Apparently it was like the hardline communists tried to overthrow Gorbachev, and Estonia declared independence. Hey, Brain, you can be on Twitch, you can be on YouTube. I've got the things. I'm sounding sober, Safa. That's because I am. We'll see if the novelty of that wears off. But I mean, tomorrow night, who knows? Like I said, I've got an idea for the video, a longer form video spent most of the week myself. I was going, I've got no idea what I'm going to do. And then I was just looking at some of my notes and saw something that said, oh, I could have a good rambling talk about that one. So I'm going to do that. So, Kirsty, you had raining earlier today, dry as a bone. Was it about an hour ago? It was raining quite heavily here. No, tomorrow's Friday, Safa. You're getting confused. It'll be one of my light and easy breakfast. Man, I've been getting light and easy breakfast lunch. They're so big on the eggs. I have so many eggs. And if the bird flu H5N1 hits fucking chicken farms, they'll probably be giving me less eggs, fewer eggs, because they'll get so fucking expensive. Rain, you're back on YouTube now. Independence training between Justin's. We haven't done a Justin's mum line for a while, Charlie. There you go. So you actually got a public holiday for your Independence Day. Nice. Oh God. What was I looking up today? Which can? Okay, I just saw an interesting country flagged today because I'm. Let's see if I can find it. Looking up on this day stuff. This is a 20th century one. Ooh, it's the anniversary of Trotsky getting stabbed in the head with an ice pick. There you go. I missed that when I was looking at it. Anniversary of Churchill's speech of never was so much owed by so many to so few. What do we got here? I'm looking. Cold War. Czech invasion. Looking at what are we doing? Yes, okay, so it's the August coup. Yes, 1991. Estonia, occupied by and incorporated into the Soviet Union in 1940, issues a decision on re-establishment of independence, the basis of legal continuity of its pre-occupation statehood. So it's re-independence day for Estonia. Nice. There we go. Kirsty, you're thinking of getting some mixing spirits. Careful you go, thing. So the Estonian flag looks like a licorice all sort. Well, you know, I'm a big fan of the mixing spirits, Kirsty. Okay, only a few days till Ukraine's Independence Day. August 24. I think the British Empire is responsible for more Independence Days than anyone else. The level of freaking former colonies around the world that have Independence Days when they threw off the yoke of colonial oppressors. Okay, Kirsty, I'm just going to throw it out there. Fireball is pretty freaking dodgy. I don't think the Mongol Empire was an empire in the same sense as what we say in the modern world, Safa. Talking about the last few centuries, the European colonizers, and there were a bunch of them, but I think maybe the Brits had the most colonies. I could easily be wrong, but I think that's actually correct. The Portuguese had a bunch. The French had a bunch. And I'm sure a few other. The Spanish had a bunch. I'm sure a few other European countries had colonies around the world as well. But yes, my admittedly limited historical knowledge of the Mongols, Safa, I think that was just like a rampaging army across East Asia. Oh yes, Rain, the Dutch, another bunch of colonizers. Yes, got all the way down here. What we now call Indonesia was what did the Dutch call it? Batavia? Yeah, but the Dutch had a couple of colonies down in this part of the world. Oh yes, God, I saw that one, Charlie, with Trump obviously fucking a young blonde staffer, and they're really upset that someone started calling attention to it. There was the one guy in his speech made a sideways reference to why is this one aide just following Trump everywhere? And it's really weird. But again, pearl clutching from the fucking Republicans was like, no, fuck you. Your ranks are full of actual Nazi loving white supremacists, and Trump's a rapist and a criminal in 50 different ways. Fuck you. Well, okay, Charlie, my counterpoint was he was definitely suggesting an affair. But fuck the Republicans doing pill culture. How dare you say that? Trump says vile, disgusting shit every day. Everyone in his fucking cabinet says vile, disgusting shit every day. Fuck them and saying like, oh, this is terrible that you suggested that Trump's fucking this aide. I'm like, come on. Oh, Trump doesn't just have one sycophant on hand. It's just like, this one's a young blonde woman. It's just, yeah. Ugh. The whole thing is sick and fucked up. Yes, the degree to which Trump in particular and his cohort have cheapened everything about public life. Oh, I don't think I know that one, Ray. The Necessary Conversation on YouTube. Safa, no, Trump should not be allowed to make crypto. That is one of the several openly and blatantly criminally corrupt things he's done. He appears to have enriched himself to the tune of over $1 billion in a series of acts that are completely fraudulent and corrupt, like just openly criminal behavior, and no one's even mentioning it, let alone stopping it. Like the Democrats aren't standing out and go, hey, Trump's breaking the law. Trump is corrupt. And he's horrifically corrupt. The Necessary Conversation used to be on TikTok. Okay. Well, I'm completely unfamiliar with them. But I do have YouTube open still. I'm not going to play any of their things. Oh, there you go. I only half spelt the word and it auto-completed to Necessary Conversation Podcast. So there's was it a bald guy and an old lady? They look like a fun pair. All right, they actually look like an interesting bunch. Right, look at them later. Kids are lefty and the old parents are Trumpers. Oh God, that's crazy. Liberal kids trying to pound into their parents' heads that Trump and the government are utterly corrupt. Parents are full Trumpers. Oh, they do the I'm sure it's taken out of context thing. Okay. I don't think I have seen a clip of it, actually, Charlie. They went on Piker one time. Piker was great with the mum, getting her to come round on a few things. He can be very gentle with people when he wants to be. He doesn't always want to be. I did have him on for a while today, and he's playing a very interesting clip of Candace Owens. It started because she mentioned him, but she said a really interesting line. Like, she's got this obsession that Charlie Kirk was murdered by nefarious forces from Israel, and she's said, like, she's being berated by Republicans, like, why don't you use this to beat up and say it was the left that are responsible for it? And she's going like, I'll blame the left for a bunch of stuff because they've done a bunch of terrible things, but they didn't do this. The Jews did it. She's like, oh my God. I would probably be close to zero alcohol, Safi, yes. Oh, okay. The mum keeps forgetting the bad stuff and hits the reset button. Oh, God. Charlie, I didn't see Andrew Wilson, Candace Owens debate. It's like, it was Tim Pool and Jubilee. Again, what a little bitch Tim Pool is. Fucking loser. Like, Dave Rubin got absolutely humiliated, but he didn't run away. Mehdi Hassan had to deal with self-proclaimed fascists who were just saying like he's less than human and had no right to be in the country, and he didn't run away. But Tim Pool gets called out for stupid bullshit and runs away like the fucking loser he is. God, he's pathetic. I'll say only he did come back. Okay. He was playing drama. Okay. See, okay. I'll let you in on a secret. I actually refuse to watch Jubilee clips because I think they're fucking shit. I think it's shit and a net negative for discourse. So, okay. And so, but that also leads to the problems where I only see out of context stuff and I don't know how it all fit in. So, but yeah, no, Tim Pool, what a cunt. That guy's a fucking loser. Like all those right-wing grifters, really thin-skinned and shallow. You like the Young and the Restless political drama, and that's fine. I mean, I've got no problem with you or anyone else watching it. Just I choose not to. But yeah, just for me, it's a net negative in terms of the discourse. But you know, on any given day, the discourse on any topics. I watched a couple of videos recently about the discourse on Obsession. Now I finally watched it and really liked it. And one of the podcast channels I like, Some More News in particular, had a bit of fun. And they've obviously delved deeper into the discourse than I did. But there's some interesting conversation of people, you know, posting their takes online who have very poor media literacy. Like they either miss really obvious points in the movie because it's not a subtle movie. They miss obvious points, or they understand obvious points after watching it multiple times, and they act as if there's some galaxy brain because they're finally understanding a really obvious point from the movie. Legal Eagle even did a take on Obsession, Rain. Nice. What was he saying about who'd be legally liable for it? That movie was great. So much of it's good. My favorite thing is definitely the female lead. She's absolutely incredible. But there's some funny stuff. The fucking support line for the Wishing Willow, who's obviously Satan, but he's just like a bored stoner in a call center, was so fucking funny. And I think inevitably there are going to be more movies about the Wishing Willow thing and the lore and all that sort of thing. Because in Hollywood, they can't resist, particularly with horror movies, doing sequels and prequels to explain the lore. Flogging a dead horse, basically. But I think there's some scope in there because that little revelation that the Wishing Willow thing was put out by the devil and the girl's trapped in hell, and it was just like, oh my god. Yes, things like elevator goes nowhere. And look, there's definitely got to be more backroom stuff as well, because of course there's a lot of backroom stuff on the internet, and the movie did so well. There's got to be more backrooms cinema. You know, Rain, I'm convinced the guy on the help desk was Satan. Because just when he said, you can talk to her, you know, and it's just screaming. And it's like, oh, that is not a worldly power as we understand it. Yeah, I just think Obsession was really well done. So, yeah, I liked Backrooms, but I really liked Obsession. Best horror movie I've seen in ages. But yeah, I don't know if there's any other modern ones. So, okay, tomorrow night, I'm probably making at least one video, and I'm going to drink some of my clarified cocktail and probably taste the old-fashioned in the barrel and maybe decant it. But, you know, party night's normally like a 6-drink night. So yeah, look, Rain, it's not like this is an absolute truth, what I just said. But I no freezer martini. The freezer martini is staying in the fucking freezer for a while. Because even after that thing, the next day I did top it up again. So I've got 700 mils of freezer martini in the freezer. So yeah, no freezer martini tomorrow. Also, Rain, I kind of just like the idea of the devil being like a stoner and just going, yeah, man, that's not really what we do around here. Just all the little bits of Obsession was so good. Anyway, I think it's maybe time. I just put a little bit of flavor in here. I'm going to make a new liqueur as well, because like to parallel, I made new syrup. Actually, what's this syrup taste like? Because I think I might have made it slightly differently. Ooh, that is tasting pretty good. It is Sleepy Bobo's time. Yeah, I've got to go get my baguette so I can have it for the weekend. I have no idea what time. Depends what's happening at work. But she'll take care. See you tomorrow night for soberish party night. See how that goes. But I will say bye for now. Bye.
You are totally fucked!